Yo, what's up, guys? James Carter TV here to recap the Tennessee Titans 2014 NFL Draft. Now, last week I came on here and I yelled and I ranted and I raved and I threw stuff about the Tennessee Titans taking Terry Lewan and for good reason. Because I still to this day don't understand the pick. I would have taken the quarterback, but in hindsight, because hindsight is 2020, and because they were able to get a second round prospect in the 6th round, I am now much more calmed down and I'm able to give a much more objective overview of the Tennessee Titans 2014 NFL Draft, and that's what I'm here to do now. Now, for those of you who did not see my rant on Taylor Lewan, I will quickly delve into the Taylor Lewan pick. Now, again, with Johnny Manziel on the board, who I would not have taken. First of all, let me make a disclaimer. I still was a believer in Teddy Bridgewater. I'm still a believer in Teddy Bridgewater. I think the Minnesota Vikings got a great prospect at the end of the 1st round. I would have taken Teddy Bridgewater. Actually, number one, I would have traded down with the Cleveland Browns at number 26, and or any other team looking to trade up anyway. Because I'm sure there was one team saying, "Hey, Taylor Lewan is on the board. Let's trade it for Taylor Lewan." I'm pretty sure there was one team saying, "Odell Beckham Jr. is on the board. Let's trade it for Odell Beckham Jr." I'm sure there was one team saying, "Oh, Aaron Donald is on the board. Let's trade it for Aaron Donald." I'm sure there was one team looking to trade up that the Titans could have traded back with, and then from there take a Teddy Bridgewater or take a Derek Carr, or maybe even a Johnny Manziel. But the problem is with Johnny Manziel, he's not a fit in the Ken Blizzard kind of offense. That's why I wasn't really buying that at all. So I mean, it's not. I mean, I love Johnny Manziel as a player. He's not a fit for this offense. For this offense, no. I mean, if we still had Dow Loggins and all these other fools and nincompoops here, then sure we can draft Johnny Manziel. But now we actually have a offensive coordinator and a head coach that like a prototypical NFL quarterback. So let's get one of those. Derek Carr and Teddy Bridgewater fit that profile. So I thought we should have drafted one of those in the 1st round, because to me, Jake Locker will get injured this season and then we will be screwed as a team. And that's just going to happen. Why? Because it's happened in 2012 and it's happened in 2013. Why won't it happen in 2014? It's happened in 2012. It's happened in 2013. Why won't it happen in 2014? If anyone could tell me why it won't, I would love to hear it, because honestly, I have not heard it. So anyway, I mean, Locker, I've gone into this so much. Again, this guy's injured his shoulder twice, his hip, his knee, his foot. It's ridiculous. Every bone in his body's gone. So anyway, 2nd row. But see, Taylor Lewan though, I understand. You want to draft a tackle, okay? You wanna, just in case. I mean, not just in case. Michael Ruse is out of here. I mean, this guy's gone. He's out of here. Michael Ruse is gone next year. Bye bye, Michael Ruse. The problem I have is I have to sit Taylor Lewan. I have to, because I have to start Michael Orr to see whether or not he's a competent right tackle. Because if I bench him for Taylor Lewan this season, Michael Orr is going to be pissed, and there's no way he's going to want to stay here. But if I can start Orr and then Orr plays well, okay, then we got these two guys. Yeah, Taylor Lewan sitting in the back, but then whenever Ruse leaves next year, you have your right tackle Michael Orr because he played well this season, and then you plug in Taylor Lewan, and then boom, our offensive line is now set for a while. And that's what we really need. Solidify this offensive line. That's a good starting point for Ken Whisenhunt, and I understand. Hello, I'm a new coach. Last time in Arizona, my offensive line sucked dick. I don't want to make the same mistake. I want to set my offensive line. I want it to be solidified, and I understand that's what he's trying to do here. But I would have went with the quarterback. Now I would have traded down number 1, and then I would have went with the quarterback. That's just me. Corner, shut up. Everyone who's saying we should have taken a corner, everyone should shut up. Because Justin Gilbert was the only corner where they're taking at number 11. Marquez Dennard is top 20, maybe fringe 20 player, and we don't even need a corner because we have Cody Sensabaugh and Bleedy Ray Wilson. We don't need a corner. So, I mean, there wasn't a big need on this team except for me, quarterback, because when you don't have a quarterback, you stink, as far as I'm concerned. And hello, we don't have a quarterback. Why? Because Jake Locker's been injured in 2012, 2013. Why won't he be injured in 2014? So anyway, let's move on to the 2nd round pick. Titans trade back to number 54 overall and take Bishop Sankey, running back out of Washington. Great pick. I mean, and this is a pick that, first of all, I never got to uploading my top running backs in the 2014 NFL Draft. But number 1 for me was Tre Mason. At the time, this was back in March. Tre Mason. Number 2 for me was Bishop Sankey. Number 3 was Carlos Hyde, and let me explain why. First of all, Tre Mason. There's some reports about him having a wrist injury and all that. Now, if I would have known that ahead of time, then boom, Bishop Sankey's number one because he's the all-around back. He's not a power back. He's not a scat back. He's an all-around back. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can pass protect. He's an NFL 3-down, every down running back that you want on your team. Every down running back that they can have out there every down, and he can do well. Run in between the tackles, run outside. He can do it all. Sure, maybe he doesn't have the outstanding athleticism that you want to look for, or the outstanding, power of a Carlos Hyde, outstanding, quickness of a Trey Mason, but he does everything you want him to do, and he's already built in pass protection and passing and catching the ball. I mean, but not passing and catch, but catching the ball. And that's why, to me, he was above a Carlos Hyde. And that's why he was just slightly below a Trey Mason, but with Trey Mason after the wrist injury, that's why he would have been above Trey Mason. So Titans, to me, get the best running back on the board, get the first running back off the board. Great job. You picked up a 4th-round pick, an extra 4th-round pick. Now, with the original 4th-round pick that they had, the number 112th or 112th overall pick, they take was it Huff or was it? I believe it was. I don't want to sound like it. No, it was DaQuan Jones. They take DaQuan Jones out of Penn State. Now he sounds as if he's going to be their nose tackle, 6'3", 320 or 330. I mean, this guy's a beast. I mean, he's one of the best players on the board. I'm pretty sure he was the best player on their board. And he can come in and he can play nose tackle and he can move around that defensive line. He's very versatile around that defensive line. Biggest problem for him, can he be consistent? And I'm sure he can be. I'm sure he will ultimately be for this team that's looking for a nose tackle. I mean, that was a quiet need that this team was looking for. If there was a nose tackle worthy of taking the 11th overall pick, I'm sure they would have taken one, but there wasn't one. In fact, there wasn't a nose tackle taken in this draft until round 2 or round 3, maybe. I don't think, maybe round 3. Louis Nix didn't last until 83rd pick. So I mean, nose tackles this is not a draft for nose tackles at all. And yet, here goes one to us at the number 112th pick overall, DaQuan Jones. That definitely gets a big thumbs up from me. Big versatile, and the biggest thing for me, because this team has a lot of linebackers. Sure, maybe they stink, and you can make that argument. But I'm not ready to give up on a Carl McCarthy. I'm not ready to give up on a Zach Brown. I'm not ready to give up on. Well, I'm kind of ready to give up on Moises Foku. So that's why I was always a big proponent of saying, hey, let's just go into camp with Wesley Woodyard, Zach Brown, Akeem Ayers, Cameron Wembley, Sean Phillips. Let's go into camp and let these guys fight it out, because I'm sure the top 4 guys who wins that battle is going to be pretty good out there. That's what I was always a big proponent of. I said, hey, the defensive line is a pretty bigger need to me, because if we're going to be playing Derek Morgan at linebacker, we have a need at defensive end and or positions along that defensive line. Let's fill some of that. I'm sure Rapati Patel Tua played pretty well last year, but I'm not going to rely on that again. So here we go. Get a guy that can play 3-4 defensive end and 3-4 nose tackle around that defensive line. Move around. Can we trust Emily Hill? I don't think so. This is a guy that we can trust to go out there and make plays, and that's what I want to see. So now with the second 4th pick, they get Marqueston Huff, one that kind of perplexed me, because most of the analysts were saying that Marqueston Huff is a free safety, that's where he transitions best into the NFL, although he can play corner. And maybe this is a move that, in the future is going to look great, because Michael Griffin will be gone and Marqueston Huff is going to come in and is going to be great, and maybe that's true. But for now, at the time being, immediately, I'm kind of perplexed by this pick. I'm not really. I don't hate it. I don't hate anything. I don't hate a pick after the 4th round. After the 4th round, I don't care. I mean, most 4th round picks onward are projects or people that you just say, hey, can they play consistently? I don't know. Let's see what we can do. So I'm a little perplexed, but hey, it's a 4th round pick. Okay. 5th round, they take inside linebacker Avery Williamson out of Kentucky. I love this guy. I think he's going to end up being a great strong side inside linebacker into this defense. Absolutely. I love some Avery Williamson out of Kentucky. Plays under Bob Stoops out there in the SEC, and he knows how to coach up his not Bob Stoops. Did I say Bob Stoops? What's his name? I already forgot his name. Sorry. But he knows how to coach up his linebackers there in Kentucky, and they've been doing it for years, and they're going to continue to do it. And very smart, conniving player, and he's a Tennessee Titans fan, and this is the team he wanted to go to. This is the team he went to, and he would love to be here. And he's very passionate. We've been looking for a passionate inside linebacker. Colin McCarthy kind of served like that, but not really. Only for 1 year did he serve that role. But we've been looking for one since Keith Bullock, and it's been a while. So good to see we could finally get one now. Move on to the 6th round, the final pick. The Titans trade up to the top of the 6th round, 178th pick overall to take quarterback Zach Mettenberger out of LSU. Now, I have no idea why any of you Titans fans out there would have a problem with this pick. I have no idea why. Let me tell you why. Hello, it's a 6th round pick. It's a 6th round pick. It's a 6th round pick. I cannot proclaim that anymore. If this guy never starts a game in his entire NFL career, and he's a backup for the Tennessee Titans for 4 years, this is a great pick. This is a great pick because most 6th round picks don't make the roster. How do I know? Hello? Last year we took Khalid Wooten with the 6th round pick. He was cut in training camp, signed to the practice squad. The year before that, we took Markel Martin, who never saw the field and is off this team. This guy, Mettenberger, I guarantee you, will be on this team as a backup for 4 years, and then boom, you had a great pick, and if he comes in and he plays, he'll play well. Sure, he needs time to redshirt, and maybe he has off-the-field issues. Come on, let's calm down. He did some stuff when he was 18, 19 years old. For those of you who have not made those mistakes at 18, 19 years old, good for you. I mean, I've made those mistakes. I haven't gotten caught or in trouble for it, but I've done plenty of the stuff he's done. I'll be honest. I wasn't caught for it like he was, though. 18, 19-year-old college kid grabbing a girl? Wow. I mean, I've never heard of anything like that before. We don't like him. He's a woman grabber. He did it when he was 19 years old. Like, can we please calm down? He's mature since then. He hasn't done anything at LSU. He brought LSU's quarterback hell into a greater position than when it was. This guy could end up starting in 2014 or 15 on and being a great quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. So let's appreciate that we got this guy in the 6th round and go home happy. And with that said, James Carter TV, comment down below your thoughts on the Tennessee Titans 2014 NFL Draft and whether or not the Titans did a good job in this draft. Overall, thought it was pretty good. Again, I would have liked to seen us take a quarterback in round 1, but ultimately you get Zach Mettenberger, who I believe can compete as a starter in 2015. Biggest thing though, I want to understand because hello, I've said this all video. I expect Jake Locker to get injured this season. And I expect Charlie Whitehurst to come into play. Now, let's say the Titans go 4-12, which I believe is a possibility. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying it's a possibility. 4-12, 5-11. Right now, I'm leaning 6-10. That's where I'm leaning. Anyway, so you're at the top of the 2015 NFL Draft. You have a Brett Hundley, a Jameis Winston, and a Marcus Mariota on the board. You have a possible Bryce Petty, Kevin Hogan, and some other quarterbacks up there as well. Who's a good Connor Cook also there. Do the Titans say, let's take one of these kids, or do we want to just roll with Mettenberger? That's going to be interesting to watch out for 2015 because, again, I don't think Jake Locker is going to pan out. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.